Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling Review Series for the 28th of April 19 or 28th of May 1983. And needless to say, this is the continuation of our series. I've watched all up through March of 1985. Just don't have the time to record these days. As you can see, my phone ringing once again. We'll be back in two shakes of a lamb's tail right after this. In any event, we continue to be kind of at a place of interesting impasse as there are, once again, new talents coming in and going out of the area in a number of ways. We open with the return of Bob Orton Jr., who seems to be a pretty big deal there, but before that, a Ric Flair promo from Florida, or actually from Georgia, based on the World Championship Wrestling site behind sign behind, and he hypes the entire Carolinas area, and ultimately, it's there. Rick Harris and Bob Orton Jr., pretty big deal, and Orton Jr. and Dick Slater and various things continue to be going into the end of the year, especially the Starcade area, a pretty big deal. Anyway, Orton Jr. cinches up on the arm, stays on the arm, and Orton Jr. continues to be a pretty effective individual, obviously known for the superplex, stays on the arm and does some highlights there. Steamboat and Youngblood are once again your tag team champions, saying that they, in fact, are not ducking the Briscoes, and the Briscoes imply that, in fact, Steamboat and Youngblood don't want to be with them in the studio. And so there is tension as the Briscoes begin to. They kind of began their heel turn last week, jumping out Jim Nelson, saying Nelson didn't belong there anymore, and all of that, and ultimately leading things around. Greg Valentine is still your U.S. champion. He is less than satisfied with the various things that continue to be. Keith Larson proves to be Valentine's opponent for this particular juncture, and they've kind of had decent matches before. Valentine again out with his second or third robe. Some head scissors takeovers, basic stuff. Valentine hits some elbow drops. Valentine also comes in with a head scissors of his own. Larson comes back and gets caught in a hammerlock and a couple of forearms. The figure four is utilized, as are the Valentine style forearms that his father is known for. Also, the extension on the leg, pretty aggressive there, and managing to do everything he can do. Gets the victory with the figure four. There is a promo in the back of the Valentine again annoyed with the idea and insinuation that Roddy Piper would return. The damage to Piper's ear, a pretty big thing. Piper sitting in the back of a truck with his dog, talks about how he wants to get his hands on Valentine but may need surgery, can't return, etc. and so forth. Good angle, although announcers do a pretty poor job of putting that forward. Anyway, the One Man Gang and Kelly Kiniski, your new tag team champions, they are in the ring for their match, as it were, and Kiniski, who has joined Sir Oliver Humperdinck in the last little while, does manage to hold on to things for a little bit there, and kind of moves forward there. Gang and Kiniski in a squash match, and it's relatively one-sided. Kiniski gets a shoulder breaker, drops an elbow. Gang comes in, hits the splash in the corner. There is the continuation of the body slam challenge promised, and Mike Davis, among others, is talked about there. Also, Bugsy McGraw comes in and tries to do the slam. Bugsy McGraw gets taken down. McGraw, who has been part of the world-class area in a natural nature of things, and ultimately, that's there. And the challenge with, I guess, Gang moving up to tag team champion has been raised to Body Slam for $7,500. $7,500, a pretty big deal. Dick Slater cuts a promo again, saying that he feels he, in fact, has been discriminated against in his time in the area, and that Mid-Atlantic is stopping him. Joe LaDuce basically cuts a promo saying that he has cheated before, will take on Slater, will take on anybody who wants to clean up the area. LaDuce really doesn't have that much of a storyline, and then we go to a Ric Flair squash match from Florida. Flair, punch kick, chop chop, and the figure four. Obviously, Ric Flair still getting ready for the biggest run of his career. Also hits a power slam before the figure four, and Ric Flair in control. Once again, Kabuki is your television champion here in the NWA. The Magic Dragon and Kabuki are also still referred to here and again as the All Asian Tag Team champions, and the size of the Great Kabuki, size meaning the weapon, not the physical stature, a pretty big deal. Then we go to Jake Roberts in the ring already with Roberts versus Rick McCord. Rick McCord, of course, becomes Austin Idol, and Roberts backs him into the corner, hits a couple of elbows along the way, side elbows to the side of the head. Roberts not afraid to surrender. Also a DDT eventually, and a neckbreaker, and Roberts is in control. The continuation of the nature of the Paul Jones, I guess, giveaway is a pretty big thing here. Jones not really at ringside for Roberts nearly as much. Funk seems to be his main focus, although he does promo the photo, the giveaway photo, the blown up photo of himself, pretty heavily for the next several minutes. Then we go to a brawl where there's the former tag team match with the turn of the Briscoes on Jimmy Valiant, and there you go. We then move to the, I guess, one of the final matches of the day, which happens to be Jimmy Valiant and Rufus Jones versus the Briscoes on the heels of what happened the previous week. Valiant manages to bump Jack Briscoe around a little bit. Briscoes do cut off the ring, and they are clearly more towards the heel side of things now. They really don't care. Rufus Jones bumps Jerry Briscoe around a bit, and Jimmy Valiant tries to get in, cheating by the Briscoes. Upon occasion, use of the figure four and the ropes, and needless to say, the Briscoes no longer care about upholding law, order, and any sort of, I guess you'd say, justice, but the Briscoes do get a cheating victory there. We will continue with more right after this.